Greetings to those of you joining us for this month's channeling session from 1997. My name is Russ Hatfield, along with Karra, my higher dimensional twin soul and member of Ashtar Command on Hades Base. We have a surprise for you this month, with technical issues forcing us to go live with this video, and we apologize for its rushed quality, but this is the best we could do at this short notice. April's channeling session brings a new record with it: 12 speakers within the first 2 minutes. It is due to a recent Renaissance fair where a fencing tournament was held between the various guilds participating. I was part of a guild and was able to come away with the win after defeating the other challengers. The base monitored the event for replay later, which gave them the ability to view my aura throughout the matches. Those speaking that night were joined by the children of Mark and me to wish me congratulations on the win. The other highlights of Side 1 was Tia going on a tirade over the environmental damage humans do to the planet. If what she was seeing in the 90s made her that upset, today's condition of our world hasn't improved much since then. Omal is inspired by Tia to give an excellent dissertation on teamwork that provides ideas anyone would find useful in taking on Earth's problems. Commander Taal gets us through to Side 2 with the news that he would be ending his tour on the base 5 years from that day. At least on Side 2, we get an incredible addition for the webpage from his take on maintaining his peace of mind in a war zone. It's a poignant look at the life of a pilot, and something few others could also feel without the threat of death always being a distinct possibility with every mission. Karra covers cleanliness and confidence in healing, while her sister goes over cell phones and kids. One bonus, she promises to design some serious tech for us someday. Finally, Leah fills us in on her sister's first day at Sirius State College and how she learned the hard way that laser drivers that they use can put holes in a person if they are not careful. For a full transcript of this channeling session, please go to our main homepage at hadesbase.com, and we invite you to subscribe to be informed of future postings on our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. And now, the channeling session from 1997 for the month of April called Tia's Tirade and the Flavor of Life.
Cool. Okay. We know who a champion is, my friend. He'll keep on fighting till the end, 'cause Russ is the champion. Russ is the champion.
Don't we go to my head?
Of the association.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Thank you, dear.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Now, this is why we were asked you to hold a second.
Oh.
Congratulations, hon.
Thank you, darling.
Yo, congratulations, Ace.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Yo, congratulations.
I assume that's
Congratulations, cadet.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Russ.
Thank you, Mom.
Congratulations. 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 Now, I think that's everybody.
Do you have a huge crowd there, or is that a pre-recorded message?
It was Omal,
Yeah.
Taal,
Tall.
Karra, Kiri, myself, of course,
Of course.
Minerva, Athena, Diana,
Wow.
Alex, Leonides,
Wow.
and Leah, and Team.
Wow. That's pretty special.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
We could have had a whole load more as well.
But they're not all in. They're not all there saying
No.
that.
Well, no. Leah, and team and everybody that I mentioned were.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, Leah is ushering the Cubs, Alex and Leonidas away. Now we can get down to business.
Okay.
Okay. The internet channeling sessions will be every other week due to the fact that it strained Mark more than we thought it did the other night.
Why don't you do this once a month?
Every other week because people kind of expect it. It's not just
Well, we've only done it once a month so far.
We've done 3, I think. And that has been about once a month, but it might be best to do it every other week until it gets closer to the ski season, then go once a month.
Okay.
Also, it was mentioned that it would be useful to put it on the webpage. And again, we bring that topic up.
Okay.
Okay. It's a pretty relaxed night tonight, as we're in the pyramid. So how do you like your new toy?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's should save me a lot of time and trouble around here. Instead of watching TV, I can actually start getting to actual work.
Okay, so how did you enjoy the tournament, really?
Oh, I had a great time.
Yeah, it seems like it. We were watching your aura and you kind of flashed brilliant red when you got onto the thing on the ground.
What thing on the ground?
That where it was all marked out.
Oh, you mean when I stepped into the area?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Kind of got psyched really quickly.
Yeah, well, that was the point I had to get psyched at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I was doing a couple different things, mostly just trying to relax into it and take it at one step at a time.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
You know, and not really get too far ahead of myself as far as, getting overconfident or anything.
And the one that we enjoyed was the face-off between you and that tall, skinny guy.
Oh, Michael?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was the one that was really anticipated by myself and him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was the only one I've ever fenced before with.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be a challenge, but I didn't expect to take it both rounds the first, right away.
From the impression I got was that both times it was 4-4.
Yeah, it was close.
Mm-hmm. And I think the girl did good as well.
Oh, yeah. I totally did great.
Mm-hmm. And we've all got it on the disc up here, so there's a copy over at your place.
Cool. They played it at the corner bar yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Now, something of importance that we're planning on November the 5th. Platoon will be returning with 2 other platoons. That's including wounded and people that are being shipped out for rejuve and everything. So we don't actually know how many have been wounded, how many are in rejuve, and how many are in cryogenics.
Right.
We sent out a holo to Leah, telling her to be very careful at this point. Mark brought up the subject of being short being the most dangerous time.
Okay.
Okay, now. It looks like the what's-it is about to hit the fan in the White House. Due to the fact that Janet Reno is being pressured to appoint an independent counsel to investigate the telephone wrongdoings of Al Gore. And somebody let slip that Bill Clinton has done likewise.
Really?
Which I think we kind of hinted at.
Right.
So it's not looking that good. at the moment for the White House. In other words, what is happening is, as I predicted, that they're starting to fall to pieces, which is perfect timing for the Democrats due to the fact that it makes them look so bad. So, with the upcoming problems... Did I just fall off the edge there? Nearly.
Yeah.
With the upcoming problems concerning Mr. Bill Clinton and Mr. Al Gore, it looks like election chances for Al Gore are getting worse. If he gets indicted, then he will be unable to be elected for a presidential position. Oh dear. Now, if Al Gore is indicted and convicted, who does that leave open to be elected in his stead?
Nobody.
To be the...
Still Al Gore.
I'm sorry?
It's still Al Gore.
Why?
Due to the fact that there'll be other running against him instead of unopposed as Clinton did in the last election.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll still be in the race.
But if he's convicted and if he's indicted and convicted, he can't.
Yeah.
Unless he's planning on running the country from his cell.
I don't know. In the Democratic Party, there's a few people who've already discussed it.
Mm-hmm. And I believe Dick Gephardt was one of them.
He doesn't have a chance.
But Gephardt might be the person that is going to, when the time is right, and this could be dangerous for the Democrats, is that if they start fighting and ripping into each other, Al Gore is not above slinging mud, and neither is Gephardt. So if it turns into a mudslinging contest, and if Steve Forbes is running for the Republicans and gets set up to be the president, then the Democrats are really up the proverbial creek without a paddle. Not only will they have lost the House and the Senate, but also the White House.
Now let me get this straight. According to your predictions, as we've discussed before, what we're looking at coming down is going to start, or has started already, and will probably peak around that point, when the elections just start to get warmed up. Okay, now with that happening, what is going to be the new scenarios that we can anticipate with the new changes in
We're working on them.
the executive branch?
We're working on them. So far, we have 6 possible scenarios that I really can't go into because they are so wide-ranging and so shaky at the moment. There are 6 distinct probabilities, but they're not certain due to the fact that not all the data is in. And with only part of the data in, 2 of them look like they could drop out. But unfortunately, with those 2 dropping out, also means that maybe 4 more scenarios could be generated.
Now, what about the scenario that possibly puts Clinton back in office again?
That one is one of the shaky ones. But that would involve the repealing of, I believe it's the 23rd Amendment. So, with the repealing of the 23rd Amendment, which is a possibility.
Well, if there's no one in the Republican Party that looks good enough, yeah, it's very possible.
But it has to be voted on by, I believe, the people as well. And I don't think there would be enough people to do so. And with the possibility of term limits as well being thrown into the equation, makes it look even less likely. But term limits is something that I believe is a dying cause, in my opinion.
Right.
Okay, let us move along at a clippity-clop speed and deal with, let me see. Deal with the economic situation and the lack of inflation. Now, it is unusual to have a decrease in unemployment, a very minute increase in the cost of living, and a increase in purchase power, people buying stuff. Now, it is unusual for inflation to not grow with all those three circumstances. Very unusual. And the question that I have on my mind is why? Is it being deliberately manipulated in such a way that it makes everything look rosy, everything beautiful, everything perfect? And if it is, why? Why is it being made to look so rosy and bright right now? Why not wait until closer to the election of a president, particularly a Democratic president? If it is so stable and rosy right now, and if it is being manipulated, pause. Okay, so if it is being manipulated, and all the circumstances that I've just mentioned, is what is going to happen nearer to election time? Well, if everything gets out of hand in the next 2 years, then it could look very bleak for the Democrats. Because at the moment, the people are happy and contented because they're so prosperous. Now, if it maintains this for the next year to a year and a half, it is more likely that they will re-elect a Republican House and a Republican Senate, due to the fact that being at odds with the White House, the Republicans that is, it looks good for the Republicans because it looks like, A, they're controlling the problems in the government, in the executive branch, and they balance out. Now, if the proverbial what's-it hits the fan at presidential election time, and everything starts to go downhill at that point, the people will say, okay, we've had 8 years of a Democratic House, and now it's all going to what's it in a handbasket. So they are more likely, when they are not prosperous, to elect an individual that they see as prosperous and successful in the business world that has political inclinations and capabilities. And in this happening, it only leaves open for one group of individuals to be elected, which is
the Republicans.
Exactly. But at this point, unfortunately, it's too late because it takes approximately 2 years. Well, it's actually 2 to 3 years for governmental policies to actually come into action and work. Which means that, let us say that a Republican president is elected and it goes downhill in his first year to 2 years. He's not to blame. As I stated, when Clinton was elected, he's not to blame for the success that happened in the first 2 years of his time in office, because that was set up by the Republicans.
Well, of course, everyone will blame him anyway.
Exactly.
Well, this is politics.
Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunately the way it goes. If we go back to the success with NAFTA and all the successes in the first 2 years of the current administration, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were trumpeted as great successes by the Democrats.
Right.
When in actual fact that they weren't. And this is something that needs to be cleared up and got straight. Now, having done my spiel on politics, I will move along again to what in the hell is going on your planet?
Like where?
Malaysia, north coast of California, all over the place. Your people seem not to love the planet anymore. It is horrifying for me to watch forests being burnt down for farmland in Malaysia that create such a heavy fog and smog that people have to wear face masks that have perfectly good, healthy lung systems just to survive. What is going on?
Well, by people, you mean certain individuals who have no respect for the planet.
In Malaysia, it seems to be a vast majority of the population.
Well, is it making anybody rich?
Temporarily, yes. The farmers. They're clear-cutting land, burning the forests down, destroying cures for illnesses. It is sickening to me. Now, to watch, and this is a world disaster. I am very shocked and horrified that, first of all, your country is looking at it ho-hum. Isn't this meant to be an environmental administration? Why aren't they doing something about it? These fires are burning out of control in Malaysia with no hope in putting them out until the rainy season starts there. And I'm not hearing hardly a peep out of a group of environmentalists that are meant to be in control. What is this, double standard time? If they can't make money and make people get concerned about it, they don't care. And it's not just your administration. It's not just your press. It seems to be a worldwide thing, this apathy. Sorry, I'm upset about this. Very upset.
I figure if it's not happening next door, it's not affecting them.
But it is.
I agree. But that's just the general consensus.
Okay.
Now, the question I've got is, isn't anybody doing the same projections you are down here?
Yeah. And people don't listen. I sometimes wonder what's the point of doing all the research that we do up here, doing all the monitoring, all the information gathering, doing the analyzing. What's the point when nobody listens?
Well, who knows about it? Nobody.
Very few people.
Right. And even if I had all of it you said on the web page, who would know about it? One of those people who read the web page.
Yep.
I mean, we don't have anybody in government reading this page, or if we do, it's nobody that's going to give a crap about Malaysia.
I know. It just really irritates the hell out of me that it's a double standard.
Once the Ashtar command can come down, take over the entire world, and stop the fires in Malaysia. There's a solution for you.
Yeah, it's a good solution.
No, not really.
But it's the wrong one.
Right, you let the world go to crap. They learn from their lessons.
Well, it may be too late.
Look at Sirius. Okay, it was too late for Sirius too. But hey, look what happened to all those third-dimensional people who
Yeah, look where they are now.
they're on sixth dimension.
Some of them.
Or they're on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, it just coming from a garden planet that I lived on and seeing what you're doing to your planet. I don't know. It just strikes me that nobody has the love for the land, and those that do get shouted down by those that want profit.
Yeah.
And mismanagement and everything. It just drives me up the wall. I'm sorry.
That's why we've been living it for years and years and years. I know the answers, but none of them are ones that can be used.
Because they're not practical. Well, I suppose I better put on the next speaker. Whilst I go off and get myself a cup of tea and calm down. It just makes my blood boil, that's all. I'm sorry I'm going off on a tirade here, but
That's
I can't
right. You want it
understand.
on the internet?
I don't know. I don't care.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do care. That's my problem. Even though it's not my planet and I don't live down there, I still care about it. It's a beautiful planet. And to watch people burn large sections of it, it just... Oh, I just want to go down there and just start knocking heads together and say, listen up, you're destroying the beauty that there is. Pull yourself together and make it how it should be. Learn to control yourself. Learn to stop overpopulating. Learn the beauty. You are going to destroy the world. What are you going to do when all the trees are buried? What are you going to do when all the water's polluted? What are you going to do when the air's polluted? What are you going to do when everybody is sick because the trees aren't there to clean the air? What are you going to do? Huh? I just want to grab hold of all the politicians, slap them silly. Yes. Greetings, Ross.
Greetings, Omal. I assume you calmed her down?
I just pointed to her and did her finger gesture. It is something that she feels very passionate about, I believe. Very passionate. I just, like Tia, wish that more on your planet felt the same way that Tia does.
Well, it's a helpless kind of feeling down here, I'll tell you.
Okay, let us address that as opposed to what I was going to address.
Okay.
Teamwork. Working together. Let me put it with a saying to start off with. A bucket starts to fill, but with a single drop. One person with a loud and clear voice can start an avalanche. Now, teamwork. Working together, a group of individuals. This is nothing to do with any ability or gift. With one person using whatever means necessary can start a chain reaction of people pulling together, dealing with problems. Yes, we can put Tia's tirade down on the internet.
Okay.
This is because of the passion in Tia's plea. But back to teamwork. It is essential when you plan something, plan it well, to have the structure set up with a group of individuals, the team, that deals with each particular part of the problem. Somebody to research, somebody that knows how to handle the press, somebody that is good with words, somebody that has foresight and planning. And with these individuals around them, you put people of like minds together, planning, kicking ideas around, taking the best ideas, and working with those feasible ideas. Some of the most wacky ideas created in that kind of group sometimes are the ones that work the best. But teamwork is important for any situation. There has to be somebody that makes the decisions. There has to be somebody that plans. There has to be somebody that can lead. Frequently, the leader is the person that can make the decisions and do the planning. The people in the team have to follow the directives given by the team leader as best that they can in a way that is beneficial. The team leader has to think and care passionately about the team. After all, without a team leader, you do not have but a rabble on your hands. And a rabble in itself can be a dangerous thing when it is not directed and focused. A team also needs an objective goal pointing in a direction that is necessary for the team to go with the specified objective. If an individual is strong-willed and the team is not strong-willed, the team can still be carried through by the will of the team leader or the individual that cares passionately. Motivation of the team is important. A team that is motivated can achieve almost anything. With the team effort and the teamwork that goes in and the direction, then the team can grow. Let us recap. You have a team leader that makes the decisions and plans. You have individuals within the team that can handle the press, communications, and anything that is necessary. The team nucleus is the important thing. An individual within that team has to be somebody that is constantly motivated and capable of motivating other individuals. The team has to carry out the orders or directives of the leader as best that they can and as swiftly as they can. Any questions?
Yeah, basically, the leader makes the decisions, plans, and leads.
Yes.
But now, what does the team do in setting forth this direction that it takes? A joint decision?
A joint decision or a debate where a consensus is reached. The reason you have a team leader is if the debate goes on too long, the team leader can stand up and say, okay, I have made up my mind. This is what we should do. As long as it is beneficial for the objective and the team. It is no good the team leader standing up and saying, enough's enough, we are going to do this, and it is not suitable for the team. The team leader should sit outside the debates and watch and listen to all points of view and formulate a consensus that is beneficial to everybody. There are times, unfortunately, where that cannot happen because the debate is going nowhere. At that time, it is enough is enough. Let us do as is decided. The team has to agree to follow that decision of the team leader. Next question.
Okay. So basically, the people who should have the strongest and most firmest belief in what is set down and to follow this would be those people who are in charge of those particular sections.
Correct.
Those who have a lesser but still very strong conviction would be either second in command if they have the right skills for the job.
Yes, in a way, yes.
Okay. And then those in the bottom are those who just don't want to have a voice.
Correct.
Okay. Now this plan here can apply for anything.
Correct. That is why it is worded the way that it is. Not just dealing with conservation or environmental issues. It is something that can be used by anybody. I would like to add, there are times where the team leader makes a decision on his own that must be followed without question. In any situation, in any structure. Because sometimes it is not wise to sit down and debate an idea. You do not have time. The situation does not allow it. The house is on fire. You cannot sit down and have a debate in a room, whilst the house is burning down around you. It is one of those things where the team leader will say, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that.
Okay.
I believe the word that you have for it is taking charge.
Right. Bull by the horns. Okay. Now, of course, this applies to your particular skills, but how is it that you, for example, could be chosen to run a base? Because you have the most belief and the most organizational skills, you lead and you plan the best?
I was picked because of having the correct aptitude. I can think very, very fast. I can make a decision very quickly. It is not often that I make the wrong decision. I have the aura of confidence that people will follow. That is very important in itself. I speak confidently. I do have the organization skills. I listen very well. And in listening is important due to the fact that from listening you learn. If you talk and talk and talk and express your ideas, you are expressing and hearing only your ideas. But if you talk a little and listen a lot, then you learn. And also people will respect you more when you finally talk and you have listened to what everybody has said. And if you talk quietly and softly, you'll get people's attention much easier than standing up and talking in a loud, clear voice. It is one of those times, as Corton is fond of saying, where you must know the situation and meet the situation with the appropriate skill and action.
Okay. Thank you. That definitely clears that up.
Next question.
All right. This goes on to the same subject. And, coming up in the problems that we face, we will be set upon to come up with a similar situation here in the house to deal with those problems that will be basically coming upon us.
Yes.
With that, Mark, of course, make an excellent leader.
But does he want the job?
Well, I don't know. I'm just stating the fact.
It is whether or not he feels that it is suitable for him. Ask him after the channeling session.
Yes, I will do so. He has the conviction and the strength of conviction necessary.
And he has the command aptitude.
Absolutely.
I believe that if he had stayed in the Air Defense Force, I believe you would be addressing him as captain.
Mhm.
But you would not have met him.
True. We're going to be having this discussion.
And two very charming young ladies would be very, very sad and lonely.
Yes, you're probably right. Now something off the track a little bit here. Actually, is Taal talking tonight?
I believe he's still present.
I'm going to hold off on that question then.
Okay.
All right, I'll let you get back to work you have to do, I'm sure.
Yes.
We've accomplished what we need to do here.
Okay. Thank you. And I will be back. Or, as more frequently said by myself, I'll be back.
Back to you.
Hello.
Is your tirade over?
I'm always quite correct. I do have passionate feelings about it.
Well, that's good.
And I do appreciate him saying put it on the internet. It is something that I find that I lose control when I talk about something that I care about that much. And I watch and I see where it's going. I know where it's going. And it is hard. It's either go on a tirade or sit down and just sob with exasperation.
Well, like he says, by putting the internet, at least we can put a attention to it that it's lacking right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if no one will see it, except for those who read the page, the word will get out, it'll spread.
Yes, but the question is, going to spread fast? I don't want to go there.
Okay.
Unless I will do one of two things. Sit down and sob, or go on a tirade again. I do apologize for going on a tirade.
That's all right, dear. It's not a problem.
Okay. Attack! Hut!
I'm up, sort of.
Very poor attempt at standing to attention. Very bad.
Hold on a second. Let me
Do not put yourself to such difficulty.
Greetings, Taal.
Greetings, champion fencer.
Thank you. Appreciate your compliments very much.
I have a friend who would challenge you.
Leica or Katrina?
Neither. He is friend from Defense Force.
Ooh. So I do have my hands full.
I think so. Looking forward to seeing Hollow or you walk away undefeated.
Well, thank you. I'm sure you'll get a chance to.
Yes, we put Hollow on in Corner Bar soon, I hope.
I hope not. I hope we'll walk in there, people start clapping or something.
Yes.
So how have you been, my friend?
Having, as you would say, hard time.
Oh, what's up?
Trying to keep up with legend.
Well, who's his squadron leader? You?
He is his own.
Okay.
No one above on base, no one below on base.
That's a little unusual, isn't it?
He is very unusual.
Say.
He is his own squadron. Definitely equivalent to a squadron.
Yes, definitely.
But he assigns himself to patrols as wishes. Favorite area and all over Western Europe.
Ah, lot of activity there?
No, just
Germany.
Just feel at home.
Yes.
Feel young.
Of course, he can look over the land he once flew over in his younger days.
Yes. Bad news on my side.
Ooh, what's wrong?
Tour end in 5 years.
5 years? Oh, from now?
Yes.
Where'd you go then?
I rotate home.
Oh. That is bad news.
Yes. I may volunteer for extended tour. Very unusual for it to be granted when doing start of second tour. It is quite common for start of fourth tour, though.
Oh. Well, good luck on that.
5 years, a long time.
It is a lot will happen in 5 years.
Yes, a lot. I may never see 5 years.
You may never see home in 5 years. You might be in the base that whole time. After 5 years. You might get granted.
Very, very rare. Have to be exceptional pilot.
You are an exceptional pilot.
Maybe here, but in overall force, just good pilot. But remember, no such thing as bad pilot. What happened to bad pilot?
He died.
So therefore, he was not pilot.
Right.
So therefore, all pilots that are alive are good pilots.
Now, does that mean Katrina's tour will end too?
Yes. As we are bond mates, her tour will also end. To walk on beach to hear wave crash on beach. Yes, I do miss that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, good luck anyway, no matter what.
Thank you.
Whichever way your destiny takes you.
Yes. But never forget.
I'll never forget you either, I'll tell you.
But 5 years, long time away.
Yeah, we got lots of time to spend. What do you have this evening for the webpage we can add on?
Let me think. I believe have given dissertation on good and bad pilot. Omal shaking head. I was thinking of engineering and tactics.
Yeah, he wouldn't like that at all.
No. Living in harmony in hostile environment.
Good one. Good one.
It is part of life to live to the fullest when under extreme pressure. The possibility of ceasing to function draws the fluids of life more to surface to be more flavorful. The taste of fresh water tastes much greater when the threat of ceasing to function hangs over cranium. When sniffing air with threat of ceasing to function over the head, air smell sweeter, fill lungs more. But from this, we learn to enjoy the functions of life more young lady that visit base and hang with Tia, Leah, Kiri, Mark, and Katrina. She know the flavor of life. She talked to Katrina and myself about the word promiscuity and definition from your planet. My answer is with the possible ceasing to function hanging over cranium. The joining in love is more intense. The feeling of each moment being a precious jewel that is for enjoyment of the now. The comfort, the warmth, the happiness of the moment. More enjoyable by that prospect over cranium. The feeling of happiness at opening eyes and looking at beautiful person in morning and hearing little one and changing diaper when little one needed diapers and cleaning up little one after mishaps or eating something that little one's stomach did not enjoy. More precious, more enjoyable, even though smell overwhelming at times and make my stomach hurt. But it is more flavorful, more happy, more intense, more precious. I know that if I, in your phrasing, buy Big Farm and Sky, I would die happy with these thoughts as I cease to function. The thoughts of my little one, my bondmate, but the sadness of losing them, but knowing that I will have to wait for rebirth would be strong. Questions and answers.
Okay. Now, as you say, your life as you're getting, under the threat of living under the, dying is awesome. The whole experience is more richer.
Mm-hmm. Heightened,
correct. Now, does that mean that you can transfer that at will to any situation at all? Do you remind yourself of that? Or is it just second nature?
It's second nature now. It is being constantly around me. That thought of dying. When I go out to fly a patrol, I may not come back.
Right.
So, the look as I go at the base, the beauty of the rock walls, the sound of the wind, the sound of the voices, all seem sweeter.
Now, your opponents often in these encounters, for example, the Zetas, the Greys, have no emotions. They can't feel this that you feel. They don't have the joy of living experienced with their combat techniques. Was this a reason possibly why you beat them so often and so easily?
Not a reason, a fact.
Oh.
If you have that longing to come back and sniff a rose that was just starting to open, then that in itself is an expectation that heightens your sense of surroundings and awareness. The thought of losing a bondmate will make you fight harder. The feeling of If I die, I've let them down.
Mm-hmm.
They do not have the emotion of anger. Anger is a powerful tool in a dogfight, keeping it focused and controlled.
Yeah, so when you fly a simulation against larger numbers, you're actually fighting against the same thing because you're not fighting in real life anything more than what would be considered computer reactions.
Yes and no. In a flight simulator, it is mathematical patterns. In real life, sometimes things happen that surprise you.
Mm.
So it is different.
Oh, okay. So knowing the vessel's weaknesses.
Correct. Thank you. I was stopped in the nick of time.
Oh.
I'm glad someone was looking over my shoulder.
Would that be Omal?
Yes. I was about to start explaining tactics.
Oh no, we don't want to go back in attack.
No.
No.
Okay. Omal says to ask last question.
Okay.
Tia says I have one more after that.
Okay. With the thought of going back home, does that affect your fighting skills, do you think?
I focus on the now.
Good.
Focus on the moment. Okay, last question.
That's all right, my friend. I don't have anything right now for you.
Okay.
Farewell. I'll have a good time and see you very soon.
I will. Well, well, well. The ringmistress spoke. Okay. Any reference to tactics, that section has to be removed.
Okay.
Okay. I will now hand back to our ringmistress.
This is really working out good because now he has me strike something and I'll be able to look at this while I'm working on it and make the strike before I have to even listen to it on the tape.
Okay. I'm going to put on the next speaker.
Okay.
Okay. Catch you later.
All right, bye, love.
Hello.
Hello, my sweetheart, my love, my life.
Congratulations. Okay. Okay. As we are limited on time, Tia says that we have approximately 35 minutes left on this recording. So I will get down to business as quickly as I can.
Okay.
Due to the time constraints that we have two more persons in front of me or behind me, we will keep this short and quick as we can.
Okay.
And we will go basically over what we went over last time concerning the appropriate setup for healing, which includes
clean fingernails, clean hands, clean mind, clean clothes, and clean environment.
and clean body. Okay, and the importance of hammering home these simple principles that are important. That with our
clean fingernails, clean hands, clean body, clean mind, clean clothes, and clean environment.
that we can set the air that is necessary for the healing. And in the healing, with the appropriate setup, and we won't hit that one again for a while, with our clean fingernails and our clean hands and our clean body and our clean clothing and our clean environment and our clean mind, we can set up our operating principles as a healer and the morals that are necessary in conjunction with the healing process. And the morals are being able to analyze and know when to call it a day, when to call in extra help, when to refer to somebody else, when to leave well enough alone, when to sit down and talk. These are all important, that these principles must be followed. And to start off with, when you're on the basic healing beginning, it is important to be able to have somebody that is at hand, that knows about medicine, that knows about healing, that can say what you're doing is wrong. Sometimes, however, that is not possible. And that opens up a moral can of worms of, if you don't know what you're doing, but you have good intent, and you know the basics, is it right to do a healing? And it depends on the situation. If there is massive damage to the individual, and you know that they're not going to survive, is it better to leave them to die and to take away just the pain? Or is it better to go through the healing process? And my answer is it depends on the situation. If there is somebody that is emotionally attached to the patient, it is important to do a healing on them, but not getting into their mind. If they think that you're the only person that can do something, they know you're a healer, and they say, do something. The fact that you go through the actions has the dividend of that you are learning, and you are healing. But who are you healing?
Yourself and the patient, but yourself and the person that they're asking to have the person healed.
No, you yourself in one aspect, yes, but you're also healing the person that is the friend, associate of the patient.
Yeah.
So, that's quite correct.
Yeah, because you're not going to do any good for the patient.
But by going through the healing process on the patient, you're taking away the suffering, even though that there is nothing else that you can do. But you are healing the emotionally attached person in an indirect sort of way. And it is something that is necessary to analyze. And we will save that for next week, because it will be a long, well, not a long dissertation, but a long question and answer session on dealing with those emotional problems.
Okay.
Any questions for me, hon?
Yeah, love. Oftentimes, to heal is similar to what Omal was talking about, having the confidence to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't dealt with that yet. And I thought maybe that might fit in well with those other items you were discussing.
Yes, it would actually. The confidence of healing, the confidence in yourself.
Right.
Yes, to a certain extent, there is similarities in what Omal was saying. But there is also knowing when to call it quits, when to say, I can't do anything.
Well, that's confidence too, going.
That is, in a way.
That's a major amount of confidence to even be able to say that. I mean, somebody who doesn't have confidence is going to try to heal anyway.
Yes, but there is times where you know that you can't, but you have to, as I just stated.
Right.
And those are the circumstances that are the hardest. The fact that you know that there is nothing that you can do.
Well, perhaps you can go over those items again sometime, like next week or something.
Yes, we'll work them in. Now, we're going to go into some more exotic forms of healing.
Next week?
I'll start one off that I know you have a strong stomach. You have a gangrenous wound on your leg. How do you heal a gangrenous wound? It is not too bad.
Cut the leg off.
That is one way. The second way, if it's not too bad, is you get an organism that feeds on rotting flesh.
Lovely.
You get a whole load of maggots.
I can't put this on the net. That's darling.
I'm nuts, am I? I'll set my little sister on you, hun.
An organism that eats rotting flesh.
Okay, let us look at using maggots. Now, what function do maggots serve?
They turn into flies, which are even more disgusting.
Yes. But maggots eat rotting flesh.
Yeah, but what happens after they get through with it? It's clean and ready to go?
Exactly.
Ugh, God. Can't you just ask the person if they want their leg cut off or not? Or do you want maggots poured on it that'll eat it all off?
I'll give you a choice. Now, think about this with all honesty. Don't think about it as if it is just a thought process.
Okay.
Okay. You will lose your leg. Or I can use something that will cure and clean up the wound. You don't tell them what you're going to use. Think about it. Genuinely. What would you rather do? I can save your leg. Honestly, I can save your leg. If you let me do it my way. Or I can take the leg off and you will have the trauma of losing the leg. You will have the phantom pains of the leg. But you will never have the leg again.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I keep the leg. I want to be put out for it.
We'll give you medication so that you don't feel it.
Yeah, because I know I'm blindfolded.
Now you see where I'm coming from.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's parts to being a healer that just turn a person's stomach.
Believe you me, when I had to do it, turn my stomach. I can't stand them either. I know. I see that image too, Russ. Don't look at it.
Okay, darling.
That's coming from me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to pass on that image. It's like being hooked into my laptop, you know.
I can't help it. It's something that I have.
Man, better you got the memories than I do.
Let's talk about something cheerful.
Let's talk about something cheerful. Anything. How about, hey, this new laptop, hey.
Personally, I would prefer to be the laptop.
Yes, I wish you were too, darling.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're wasting time. We have 2 more speakers.
Yes, we do.
I love you very much, as always. I look forward to you and our new love in our life.
Yes. Okay, let us briefly go over Karra's.
The first part.
No, all of it.
All of it. All right.
All of it. No, you are correct. It is a judgment call. Okay, having said that, I will hand back to our ring mistress. Thank you. Okay, next person.
Okay. Thank you.
Yo, dude!
Dear sweetheart, how you doing, baby?
God, she looks like a Sid when she gets emotionally worked up.
Blame her? Quite a weird subject to go over.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why she brought that up.
Bizarre form. What's the exotic forms of healing?
No, she's got a stack of them, she's saying.
That's the first in the series. I can't wait for number 2. You think you had it rough, darling. Not even.
Oh, I don't even think I've had it rough. I've been inside her mind. It's not pleasant.
I know. So anyways.
And for somebody that is so loving and caring to have gone through and have all those horrible images in their mind.
Yeah. What do I want to do?
Mm-hmm. Okay, questions.
Okay. Advantages of a laptop over a regular computer. We know many of them, but anything I might have missed.
Portability, locations, communications. Let me see.
Communications as in what?
Cell phone. You can plug in anywhere you want to.
Cell phone.
Uh-huh.
Cell phone.
You can plug into a cellular phone straight into the internet.
Can you now?
Uh-huh.
Interesting. I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I asked.
And if you have the right setup, you have your cell phone connected to it, right? You can do direct computer-computer telephone calls.
It'd be expensive.
Mm-hmm. But let's say you wanted a secure, encrypted conversation, right?
Yeah.
Instead of carrying a bulky encryption unit around, you can carry it around in the form of a small program. And you can call somebody up and run the cell phone through your computer that would take your voice and turn it into an encrypted carrier wave and be transmitted to the other person, which has the same program that de-encrypts it.
Good point.
Let's say that you and Mark each had a cell phone and a laptop.
Okay.
Okay, let's say the what's it hits the fan.
Right.
You guys are off in the boonies. Mark heads off to reconnoiter, right?
Right.
He gets into a situation where he's holed up, right? Now, how does he get a message to you?
Just call me on the cell phone.
Through the computer.
Well, or just use a cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but cell phone waves can be monitored.
True.
But if you go through an encryption program and turn it into an encryption, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can call you. You pick it up. It's encrypted. So you switch on the encryption program, which de-encrypts it, and also encrypts your answers as you talk. So you now have a totally secure communication that will take a while to crack, unless somebody else happens to have the exact same program with the exact same configurations.
Good point. It'd be tricky.
Be expensive.
And expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's mostly more for government work, but...
Mm-hmm. But you see, that's something that you didn't think of. The possibility of communication. Now, let us take... Well, there goes my dissertation.
What?
Well, I was going to take the design of the laptop and how to improve upon it.
Right.
And the mole just looks at me and goes... I didn't stick out his tongue, he just pointed at the paper and just went...
Nice try.
Mm-hmm. I hate it when he does that. We all agree to be open and be available for him to see what we're going to say. And so we can't even get the joy of trying to slide it past him.
Hey, you're the reason he's there in the first place, dear.
Yes, I know.
So obviously he's going to definitely watch your stuff or anybody else's.
Yes, I know. But if I could figure out a way to encrypt it so that he couldn't read it in my mind and then send it down to you
right.
and de-encrypt it through Mark's voice, it would be too late.
Yeah, he would pick it up.
He'd pick it up, but it'd be too late.
Nice try thinking about it, but I don't think so.
I know.
Okay. What else you got?
Well, apart from redesigning computers and laptops for easier use, I don't have anything now. I had a 10-minute dissertation, well, actually 7.5-minute dissertation, and about 10 possible questions, which would have taken another 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Which would have been 15 minutes, which would have used up my allotted time perfectly. But now I don't have that.
So anyway, how's the kids?
They're doing wonderful. Alex and Leonides are just wonderful, adorable children.
Excellent.
Alex is still Alex, and Leonides is still making up for the both of them.
I do that.
Mm-hmm. But somehow it's funny that when Alex is being Alex, which is 100% of the time, it kind of makes it more enjoyable, the fact that Leonides is so unpredictable. It's kind of... I enjoy Leonides' unpredictableness, his playfulness, his moodiness. And in turn, I seem to enjoy Alex's predictability and good behavior more.
Well, now, a lot of it's you and a lot of it's Mark.
What do you mean?
Well, you can see a lot of, your both characteristics in each of them.
Yes.
And how each is, keying off you or Mark
Mm-hmm.
in their growth.
Yeah, I see with Alex, Mark's shyness, my thoughtfulness, my deep thinkingness. You see me go off when I'm deep thinking.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to have carried that to the next logical stage, combining the both.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Leonides that has my mischievousness, Mark's kind of reserve and impatience when somebody's being slow or dense. You see both of our intelligence in both of them. You see Mark's concern for other people in both of them. You see in Leonidas my screw the world attitude. And in Alex you see my let's take care of the world attitude.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they are definitely our children, but yet they seem to be polarized.
That is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to be basically our liaison for liaison.
Liaison.
Thank you.
And it's not even my language.
I know. For arranging storage, things to get, preparations for the future. So, as we get closer to the time, then we'll be asking a lot of questions on preparations, storage.
Well, I'll tell you what we can go over next week.
Okay.
Would be putting down on storage within your very primitive. How many gigs does it have on the RAM?
RAM 16 megs.
In your itty bitty bitty RAM, and how many gigs in hard drive?
1.
In your teensy wincy storage space in your hard drive, and it's a moving hard drive.
I can remove it. Yeah, that's true.
No, does it move internally?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
In your very primitive. Tell you, best way to compare it to mine is go and get a hammer, cold chisel, and a piece of granite, and record everything on it.
Fine. So next week we're going to record on a piece of granite.
Yeah, why not? That's the comparison between yours and mine.
I'll be sitting here chiseling away.
But we will go over the list.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Slowly, as it's not voice activated.
Computer. Oh, computer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right, dude.
It took a few seconds for me to comprehend that you were making a reference to your entertainment.
Well, see, that's just where my computer, I be my computer. And probably your computer.
Well, my computer is voice activated, holographic projector, high density holographic projector.
Let's stick one of those on here.
You don't have the power to run it.
Yeah, I know. Can't plug in the wall.
No, for one thing. And it takes about 5 gig to run it.
Nope. Not likely.
Well, when you have a hard drive that has about 100 gig on it,
I'll keep you posted.
I'll design it for you. Actually, mine has more than 100, way more.
Well, you won't design it for me.
No, I won't design it for you. But there again, if you end up with an inexpensive terabyte hard drive,
all you can do is look back and laugh. There's nothing you can do then either.
No, but if it becomes inexpensive, and I mean as expensive as it costs, what's it, about 1 meg of RAM is about 1 bottle of cheap wine?
Yeah.
When 1 terabyte equals that price, right, then I will design for you your holographic high-density projector. And Omal says that I will be able to.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll just hold you to that promise.
Yeah, I'll design it for you.
Okay, so next week the list.
The list.
Das List.
Okay. Okay, Russ. That's it on regular speakers. I can now depart, so live long, prosper, and I'll be back.
Farewell, Omal.
Okay. Let me put on the last speaker. Oh my. Hello.
Hello, Leah.
How's it going?
Good, sweetheart. How you doing?
Fine.
Right, Leah.
Uh-huh.
Well, what do you want to talk about today, my dear?
Ooh, just chat.
Okay. In that case, we will just chat.
Okay.
I gotta figure out what to call this particular session. Any ideas?
Congratulations. Starts off like that, does it not?
Yes, it does. Alright. Congrats.
I got a hollow today.
Yes, you did. What'd you get?
Oh, from Huna.
Wow. And how is our little bunny rabbit?
Well, actually, I got 2 hollows. She is doing fine. She's started at Sirius State College. She had problems for the first week.
Oh, what happened?
Her fans. She got, how you might say, mobbed going to class. She says that she's had to disguise herself going to class.
Disguise herself?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Her classmates now aren't in so much awe of her. Well, she did something special with one of the hollows that she sent to me. It's the one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interactive. It's one of those.
Ooh. That's the best kind.
Uh-huh. So I'm looking forward to it. It says interactive, so I'm going to try it out later on.
Alright. Excellent.
In her other hollow, she says hi to everybody. And she's planning on coming probably in about 4 months from now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah, she's going to come for another month.
Well, that's going to be great. So about 4 months from now?
Uh-huh.
Oh, great. I'll be in Thailand. No, I'll make sure I'm here for that, though.
Ah, okay.
For her, anyway, I shall make sure I am here for your sister.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You miss her?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I do.
So why aren't you going off to college then?
I am at college.
What, here?
But this is part of my field study course.
Oh. So, you're learning engineering.
In the field.
In the field.
Mm-hmm.
And what have you learned?
I've learned a lot.
Good.
I learned something very important the other day.
What's that?
You don't put your hand down in direct line of a laser driver.
Anything bad happen?
You tend to burn holes through fingers.
Is that what you did?
Uh-huh. Just a little one.
Yeah, luckily your finger will heal.
Mm-hmm. But I did get shown one by my person I was assisting. She held up and put a needle through her finger. And she goes, "That's what happens when you do that."
I don't get it though. How could you put a finger in front of it?
It goes through straight away.
Oh, but I mean, you're pointing the thing, right? The laser driver.
I put it down. Then switch it off.
Yeah.
So I put it down, it's laying flat. I put my hand down like that, and I felt the pain as it went through.
Well, I thought it was switched off.
So did I.
Oh, God.
Fortunately, it went through the fatty part of the finger.